That's what I wanted to say.
They'll have Phillips on it. They were bigger.
If I had a vending vehicle, I'd be selling coffee.
No kidding. Do you know how many shares they had? Over 6,000 shares.
Oh, really?
Yeah, letters were mailed to all the guys.
Good, I think he's sort of right.
Starts at the morning. So,
Linda. Yes, but I
in the back table here. If I can get anybody something, just raise your hand and I'll grab it for you.
Oh, you did come out.
The bar is
Folks, if you are joining us this morning as a visitor, we encourage you to have a seat in the back, facing the screen, so that we can get started for our veterans. And if you are a veteran and a guardian, we have seats up here for you,
Choose not to go.
and can't wait to get started for you.
I'm the proud superintendent of the Beekmantown Central School District, and my name is Dan Mannix, and I had the easiest job here today, because I get to welcome our local heroes to the first virtual reality honor flight that I think has ever happened before. So, without further ado, today's a very special day, and today doesn't happen without the difficult work and the hard work of a few special people here. So I would like to first recognize we have two Board of Education members here. We have Board Member Marin over here and Board Member Pauline Stone. And we also have two people who have worked very, very hard over the last 2 weeks behind the scenes, and that is our business executive over here, Mary LaValle Blaine, and our Director of 21st Century Learning, who's going to be guiding you all the way through today, and that's Gary Lambert right here. It should be noted that we do have a few dignitaries here. We have behind me Assemblyman Jones and Town of Plattsburgh Councilman Cashman. In the audience, we have my father, Martin Mannix, who's a town councilman. We also have a special help today of many of our staff and our students. As you look around and you'll see students with the Beak Squad shirts on, they're here to help you today too. So, and some of our staff over here from 21st Century Learning, and I know I saw our high school principal is here, was here today. Thank you so much. Please enjoy your day as I hand this over to Gary Lambert.
So, we're the first. Superintendent Mannix said we're the first. One of the things that happens when you're the first is you're the first to get to know what the problems are going to be. So I will expect we're going to have some issues. We might have some glitches, but the students that are behind you, they're your digital guardians. So you have your friends or relatives. We have our students. There is much here for you as your relatives and your guardians are. So I want to give a round of applause to our students. So I want to tell you a little bit about how today, well, first problem that happened already. I want to thank a few other people. I want to thank SimQuest Corporation for underwriting and sponsoring the luncheon that you're going to have today, as well as Zachary's for doing the catering. It was very generous of them to step up. But with that said, I want to thank all of you, because if you didn't do what you did, we wouldn't be here. So there are plenty of tissues on the table, and I am probably going to grab some of them myself. So I want to tell you a little bit about virtual reality. Back in my grandmother's attic, I found a bunch of postcards. And those postcards had photos on them that were split down the middle. And I think some of you folks know what I'm talking about, where it was the same picture on both sides. And she had something that she told me was a stereoscope. And if you put those postcards on there and zoomed them in and out, you could see Paris, France in 3D. You could see the Roman Colosseum. That same experience is basically what you folks are going to see, with one major difference. You're going to be able to move and turn and look as if you were standing there. Now, that technology is somewhat disorienting. Because it feels so real, we want to make sure that everybody here is safe. So, first rule of thumb, my beaks will know, is we never do what with the headsets up? We never stand up. Because if you go to grab for something that isn't there, you might end up falling and hitting something else. So we just ask that you sit in your seats. You are in a pivoting chair, so we did that for a reason, so that you can turn and look around. Now the student beaks are also here for you because these headsets do not, actually, Rick, can you hand me one of this? They kind of look like the old ViewMaster viewers that I actually had when I was a little boy, and without the little lever on the side. So all you have to do to make this work, you've already brought your eyes to the table. We're bringing this and putting them together. You just have to hold it up and look around. That's all you have to do. Now what you're going to be experiencing while you're watching this, I have a tablet over here that you are all going to be connected to. And I will take you through different scenes and different locales, and I'll do the best job that I can being your tour guide. We're obviously not in Washington, D.C. No one's going to be fooled there, but we brought as much of it, the experience, to you as we can. Now, something else that I need to mention to you, if you've ever had goggles on for a long period of time, sometimes you may get a little dizzy, and we don't want anybody to have that ruin their day. So if you feel dizzy at all, nauseous, whatever, if it feels like you're on a roller coaster ride, just set it down. There's no problem there. And if you have trouble holding it up, our young beaks will hold it for you. Right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So if there are any glitches whatsoever, any at all, if we get one of those little gremlins creeping in to our headsets, just raise your hand up, give a high sign. Our beaks will swap it out, give you another one. Okay? It's pretty simple. All you have to do is enjoy it. And our flight board of directors voted unanimously, as I've just been told, that if any of you after the experience today decide you changed your mind and you wish to go to Washington, that will be done for you. So
That's awesome.
So are we almost set? We still need a couple more headsets. This is the hardest part to get it started, folks. Okay, do we have everyone covered at this point? Okay, I think we're ready to begin. So, welcome to the Lincoln Memorial. If you can, put your headsets up. We're at the Lincoln Memorial, and we do have some headsets, by the way, for the audience to pass around. We don't have enough for everybody, so we would ask that you share them and pass them along. So, I see a bunch of, the wonderful thing is I get to see what you're looking at, because I see a bunch of happy faces here in the scene. So, we're at the Lincoln Memorial, which stands at the west end of the National Mall. And the Lincoln Memorial obviously honors Abraham Lincoln, the nation's 16th president. Millions of people visit the memorial each year to remember Lincoln, who led the country through another great war, the Civil War, and helped end slavery and preserve our Union. Since its dedication in 1922, the Lincoln Memorial has become a symbol of unity and an important site in the civil rights movement, with many gatherings and as well as protests taking place on the front steps of the memorial. Now I'm going to draw your attention. This is the first time that you're going to see me interact with you. I'm going to touch something and you're going to see an arrow appear. And when you see that arrow, I'm going to see, if you just turn your head towards that arrow, you'll see what I'm talking about. So the temples of ancient Greece are what inspired many of the architect, Mr. Bacon's design for the Lincoln Memorial. 36 limestone columns